want to encourage you all to take an SAT, take an ACT, and take it and do well. And come here for practice. Recruitment tips. Some athletes attend sports camps. So when you guys talk about, I want to go to a sports camp, I want to go to a football camp, I want to go to a basketball camp, you need to look at the credentials of those people who are giving that camp. Because if there's no scouts coming in to see you play, if the coaches are not connected with a high school or with a college or university, they're just somebody from the neighborhood giving a sports camp so they can make $50 or $100 per person. That's not benefiting you. So when you choose sports camps, you need to make sure that you pick one that is viable. And if you pick a sports camp, a football camp, a basketball camp, a clinic, you need to contact those coaches and say, I'm going to be in a football camp at Montclair State University. I want to invite you to come and see me work out. And then they will come. But you have to do that because you expect your coaches to do that at your respective high schools. They may not do it. So we need our athletes to be proactive. Not wait until the coach does it or mom or dad. You have to be proactive. And then your highlight tapes, some of the students say, I want to do a highlight. Well, what does that highlight tape look like? You just can't go on YouTube and say, look at me. You got to give a 1-minute introduction. My name is so-and-so. I attend such and such high school. I play for the basketball team. This is the position I play. I play JV, I play varsity. I average 16 points a game. My GPA is such and such. My coach is so-and-so. That sort of thing. They want a little introduction, and then they want film from your practice and from your actual games. If you're playing, basketball, football, they want to see how you play offensively and defensively. So whoever's taping you, then you get both of those. And then at the end of the video, we want to have another 3-minute, conclusion. Thank you for taking time to look at my video. If you want to see more footage of me, this is my YouTube, name and site, and then you can tell them your email address or your phone number what is put in to contact you. But don't wait for your high school coaches to do that because a lot of our students, don't get that benefit of having athletic directors or coaches to put that type of film together. Some students do, but there are many who don't, and we just spoke about that. But at this time, I just want to take a few moments because I know you don't all know each other. So I want you to come up here and introduce yourself and tell us your name and your high school and what position you play and what sport you play. We're going to take y'all first. Who's coming first?
Slash events, West Side High School shooting range.
And the students, Springfield High School, London.
They doing just that line. I just wanted to stay up there. Here's my track stuff.
My name is David. I go to East Side High School.
All right, and I see we have some parents here. We're going to thank y'all for coming as well. And we know that students are often shy, but that's one of the things you have to look at. When you're going to meet a recruiter, and you're going to be talking to a recruiter, you're going to be interviewing. You got to know how to express yourself, and they don't want to hear from the mom or the grandma. They want to hear from the student. They want the student to be able to express themselves and tell why you selected this school, and why we should select you as a potential athlete for our school. And you have to be able to articulate that. So we want to get you guys in the mode of talking and expressing yourself. Not to put you on the spot, but to be able to be prepared. Oftentimes when you're at a game and a reporter may come and ask you, what do you feel about the opposing team, or how do you feel your team did? You got to be able to speak off the cuff because you're representing the team. You're representing the school. You're representing the community. So we want you guys to get in the habit of doing that. And so does everyone here have highlight tapes? Okay, that's good. And how many students in here have an email address? Okay, do you have a athlete's profile, where you profile, you know, your talents and how many points you average a game, and your height and your weight, and what positions you play. All of that's important. You have that? That's great. So that's something you gotta work on. And then your GPA, you should know that. And your class rank, you need to know that too. Because they wanna know out of 200 kids, where do you rank, you know, academically? They want to know, you know, what's your cumulative GPA. You know, some students want to give the overall, but they want to know exactly what your GPA is right now and what courses you're taking. And then we're going to talk about the major course of study. Because when you tell me that you want to major in sports management or sports medicine, then you have to say to yourself, I know every school does not offer that major. So that means you got to do some research. You got to do your homework. And that's something you want to do off season, like now. And you start looking at colleges and the tuitions and the GPA requirements, and you will say to yourself, that's a good fit for me. What's the next thing I need to do is to go and visit that college or university and visit that athletic department.
Mr. Allen, can we interrupt to say that they need to Gmail? I don't need a microphone. The one thing that I've been doing when I do the data, I look at some of your email accounts. Please establish an email account that is not related to your school. Because once you graduate, that's it. They cut it off in June, so have an independent email account. And make sure it looks professional, whether it's your first name, last name, first, last name, whatever it is. But some of the things I've read, inputting 2,000 students' data information is just absurd. It's insulting and it doesn't look professional. And so we need to be professional because no one's going to answer booty.com, so and so and so and so. Because I've seen some of the worst. And some of you write that because they think it's cute. And it isn't. So I'm just trying to help you. I don't like it. It's not professional. And your recruiters are just going to dump that. They're going to delete. They won't even pay attention to it. So we need to be very professional from this point on. Remember, this is the only time you'll get something free. This is it. Past graduation, everything is a cost. So you're trying to get the most bang for your buck now. And also try to get some money once you graduate as well. So we have our recruiter here. We have our New York Giants team is here. He's still here downstairs, and he'll be up to talk to you about some of the things that you need to know in terms of transitioning from high school to college.
Okay, if you open up on the other side of your folder, we have the high school athletes college recruitment guide that I included, and I gave you a website. And I gave you a athlete's profile. You want to send an email to a coach on page 2. It gives you a sample what that email should look like. You know, here a student is writing to Coach Smith at North Carolina State. I'm very interested in attending North Carolina State and being a part of your track and field team. I will be graduating high school in June 2020, and I would like to attend North Carolina State in the fall of 2020. My track season ends on May 5th, 2020. I would like to visit North Carolina State during my spring break, and I also invite you to one of your assistant coaches to one of my track meets. And I'll be at the 2020 Penn Relays and the 2020 Essex County Track Meet. This student is letting the coach know where they will be and the importance of them being able to contact them. They're putting their name here, their address, and then if you look at that page, it gives the athlete's profile at the bottom. You know, the high school GPA, the SAT score that the student received, the ACT score, their class rank. The student says they're 18 out of 217. That's impressive. And then the athletic information. College recruiters want to know your track coaches or your basketball coaches or your football coaches information, their name, their address, how to contact them. So make sure you have your coaches' information included. And then if you have gotten any type of awards, if you got MVP or anything like that, that should be included in your athlete's profile because they want to know you got most improved, you got MVP. And a lot of students here do great athletic things, but they don't get the recognition that they should get because it's not documented. You know, it's not enough to tell your friends. You gotta write down. If you got perfect attendance, if you got an MVP, you know, keep hold of those certificates. Keep a folder with all your awards, trophy recognition, so that people can say, this is great. Now, if you are going to a college, on page 3, it talks about what questions you should ask a coach. The academic questions and the athletic questions. The first academic question you should ask is, will the athletic department provide tutoring if necessary? Because if you're an athlete and you need tutoring, the college should provide that. But particularly the college coach should want you to get tutoring to make sure that you remain academically eligible. The second question, what percent of the players have graduated at your college since you've been coaching? Because some students come and stay a year or 2 years, they transfer, so you want to know about the retention rate. How many students actually stay after the first year? Because that speaks to the athletic department and the team, and it speaks to the coaching. The third question, how often will my athletic responsibilities require me to miss class? Because if you're majoring in engineering, or medicine, or law, or psychology, there's a lot of note-taking, and if you're not there, you're going to suffer or be challenged academically. So you need to know how many days during the course of the season are you going to miss class, because you have to make up all of that work. Fourth question, how many credits per year and what grade point average do I need to remain a part of the team? So if the coach requires you to maintain a 2.5, you're somewhere around a 2.3, 2.4, you know you have work to do. Because you want to be able to maintain yourself academically to stay on the team. Are the eligibility standards at your school the same as they are at other schools? Because sometimes they vary, and you need to know that. Are there any reasons why I should choose your college? That's a question you may want to ask the coach. The athletic question should be as follows. How many hours per day will my sport take during the season? That means how many hours per day will you be practicing? Are you going to be practicing 3 hours a day, 5 hours a day? Some students practice in the morning and in the afternoon. I had a student who left my program who went to the University of Connecticut, and he had to be at practice at 5 o'clock in the morning. He overslept, and he lost his scholarship because he missed so many days being late for practice. So it's very, very important that that happens, and it happens consistent, that you get up for practice on time. How many returning players will be competing against me for the starting position? So if I want to be the center, how many other players are competing for that position? I need to know that. Will I be offered employment if I stay during the summer? So if you stay on campus during the summer, is the summer job granted for you or allotted to you? If I'm redshirted, what does that look like for me? Everybody know what redshirting means? What does it mean to be redshirted? If you're not eligible, that means what? You're on that bench, yeah, for the entire season. And that does happen more often than not. And so we want to make sure that you know what that looks like and how do you move from that redshirt position to being, active on the roster. If I fail to meet the NCAA requirements, will the school still accept me under the current guidelines? You need to know that. And what happens if you're injured and you're playing on a team and you got an athletic scholarship? You need to know what's going to happen. A lot of us don't know that. And those are questions you need to ask a coach prior to getting on that campus. So I'm going to ask you to look at the next page. It talks about Division I academic requirements. And I want you to take a look at that. You know, the type of courses you need. You need 4 years of English, 3 years of math, 2 years of natural or physical science. You need social studies, 2 years. And you need to have all that done. And it talks about the GPA requirement you need to qualify for the NCAA Clearinghouse. And when you guys go on this website that I gave you, you will see what the GPA requirement is and the SAT requirement for Division I, Division II, and Division III. And I'm hoping I have Division I and II athletes in here because there's no scholarships available for Division III. Everybody knows that, right? You can go play Division III sports, but there's no scholarship money for students. And we want you guys to be looking at that. I have a couple of books for you guys.
Can you give examples of Division III schools?
Yeah, Division III schools at Essex County College. Dell State. There's a lot of schools that have Division III sports. And you have to know which ones they are. And it's listed in the book that I gave you to look at. And so here on this page, it gives instructions how to register and the websites. And it tells you where to register and how to get registered. If anybody needs help registering online, we will help you. And I give you 4 or 5 pages in here about the course requirements for Division I, Division II, and Division III sports. We have our guest speaker here tonight to tell you about how he navigated through the NCAA Clearinghouse and how he selected the college that he selected to go to, and how he got drafted to the NFL. And so Eric Smith is here from the New York Giants, and we welcome you, Eric.
How y'all doing? I'm probably gonna leave this a little too tall, but how y'all doing? Eric Smith. Oh, you want me to?
Put it up, because it'll be good. So he's not pending that.
How y'all doing? I'm Eric Smith from Atlanta, Georgia. Went to.
Is that working?
That sounds loud, yeah.
How y'all doing? I'm Eric Smith. I'm from Atlanta, Georgia. I played with the New York Giants. If y'all didn't know, I attended the University of Virginia. I first met Mr. Brown this summer. I was volunteering at Westside High School. This is while I still with the New York Jets. And growing up in Atlanta, I saw a lot of stuff that kids my age shouldn't be able to see. So me making it to this level that I am right now, I'm blessed to be able to reach out to people in the communities with similar backgrounds. But that's when I met Mr. Brown. He took me under his wing. And just treated me as if I've been in my whole life, and I met him my whole life. But like I said, I went to Columbia High School down there in Atlanta, Decatur, Georgia. Our school was never one of those big prep schools. I went to a public high school. I went in the accelerated classes and the magnet classes and like that, the regular classes. I've been playing sports since I was 5, so my mom always kind of told me, if you want to continue to do what you want to do and do what you love, you got to have your mindset and have your mind frame good in the classroom, because you're not going to be anywhere where your body can take you right, having your mind right. So she was always a strong confidant in that. So a single parent household was just me and my mom, always a fool. No silver spoon in my mouth. Like I said, I seen a lot of things I should probably see growing up. What ended up allowing me to go to the University of Virginia was taking those lessons and everything that people taught me growing up, whether it was, just stay out the streets. My dad, to this day, he run the street. Multiple kids on his side. I have a lot of brothers and sisters. He still sell drugs and stuff like that, grew up around gangs and stuff like that. But like I said, my mama just was always my strong point. Just keep going. What you see right now, it don't last. Especially if you have the mindset that you don't want to be around it, you don't want to see your mom around it, you don't want to see your siblings and your family around it, it's going to motivate you to do what you truly want to do. So right now it starts with finishing high school. It starts with yes sir and no sir, and these teachers, no sir, yes ma'am, all that little stuff counts because it builds your character on a daily basis. And you may think, even your friends, some of your friends may say, hey, that's lame, and talk to certain people like this. But at the end of the day, I still got people back home who still on the same stuff that have not left the state. They ain't even left the city. So man, take heed to what your teachers and Mr. Brown and everybody is saying, because it's not to go where one way and come out the other. At the end of the day, I feel like, I'm only 24, and I'm getting to an age where I look at a lot of stuff different, but parents and teachers and everything like that, what they tell us at the age y'all is right now, they've been through it. They're not gonna tell you something. They make it up. This ain't, they're not God. Parents are going through and teaching you all what they went through from experience. So I mean, I'm not a parent or anything yet, but I'm one of y'all age where I can keep it real with y'all. It's like, what they're saying, take heed to it. Yeah, it may not be the thing you want to hear at the time, but it's what they know is right, and what they feel is right. And at the end of the day, they have their best interest at heart. When it came to 10th and 11th grade year of high school, we weren't a football high school at all. Basketball high school, I was one of the guys kind of stood out. You know, I had the size and everything like that, but most importantly, I had my grades. You know, on the road, not a principalist, not like that. You know, brainiac. I had 3.2, and people knew that I wanted to achieve. I wanted more than what I currently had in life. So, you know, I had a mentor in high school like Mr. Brown, you know, encouraging me to take the SATs and stuff like that. Like, when I heard those kind of tests, I was just associating with stuff I heard on TV. Like, okay, you know, people do this, do that. Like, okay, nobody really preparing me and stuff like that. So I started putting myself around people like Mr. Brown. You gotta want to succeed. It don't just happen to everybody like football night. You gotta go push yourself. So the fact that y'all here right now, I give y'all kudos because you see, everybody ain't here. Well, they can be or they can't. Everybody don't have the opportunity that you all have to even to hear what I'm saying. Because like I said, I'm a young guy. I'm learning as I go on a daily basis. No father in my household, I learned how to be the man I am on a daily basis. Like I said, 10th and 11th grade, we'll keep my grades up. I'm fortunate enough to do good things on the field where I'm starting to get college experience and looks and everything like that from scouts. They come in, check my grades. That part was good. Another thing they do while they're recruiting, they go around and ask the teachers, the janitors, the principals, the counselors, what kind of guy, what kind of young man is this? What kind of young lady is this? What kind of character am I bringing to my university? Possibly bringing that. They literally, even when going to the NFL, they went back and asked our middle school and high school teachers, what kind of person this is. So that's what I'm telling you, the things you do right now, it's not just right now, it's to build your character going forward. So just take heed to that. They stuck around. I kept making the grades that I needed. I kept training my body. All season, a lot of people don't know. It's more than what you just do in your season. If you want to be ahead of everybody else in your situation, what you gonna do in the off season? What you gonna do when the lights are on you? When people aren't watching you. You say, well, this is the linebacker, right? What you gonna do when you ain't forced to go to practice? You feel? Like it's more than just like, and I tell people like this: football is just a class that you like to take. Football is literally, it's an after school program, right? Until you work harder than somebody else to do what they aren't able to do. That's why I say these classes and everything you might not like right now in your semester, right? These classes are temporary. So do everything you can to take heed and be able to push yourself past and prepare yourself for what you're going to run into in the future with these classes. Because once high school over with, it's a lot of classes that you take right now that you're not ever going to need to talk about again or anything like that. It's what the requirements are. Everything is a competition. You all are athletes. Y'all know what it takes to compete. Okay, somebody on that scholarship. So they offer the same young boy in another position, another school, another state, the same position. What can you do, you know, to exceed and propel in that situation? So just keep doing what y'all doing. College come around, they gonna ask about you. They gonna ensure that you're the guy for them. They're gonna come to your houses, everything like that. They're gonna do everything they can to properly prepare themselves for the young person that everybody bring in to represent the university. Because that school, the high school is over. When you get to school, you have a badge on you. You have your school. You have anything. You have everything that these people invested in you. Because that's what school is. Especially if you're fortunate enough to get a full scholarship, you are a representation of that university, that school, no matter where you are. So another thing he wanted me to talk about, social media. They look into that. Just as much as y'all think y'all into technology and social media, they have people who are trained for this. So, and like I said, I can speak from up in the area center. Everything in them captions and everything you may think you put on for somebody, but you can't go claiming your block of your street and then put all these in and all that. Just cause like it may be, I understand. I'm from it. I know that. I know the pride of you, the sensation you got when everybody double tap on you. He real. But at the same time, that don't matter. When you've been scouted to represent somebody else, You think that I went to University of Virginia, you think if I go put slapping blood and all my gang and everything on my street in my bio, I'm putting all this stuff, they go do research, what does this mean? What do they associate them with? The type of people, they go type blood in a Google, and all it takes for them, they can see the worst. Crime scene, investigation, all that. That's little stuff that they look at it different because they don't know the true understanding. You can truly really try to represent your boy might have died, something like this. This is what he's a part of. And for people who don't understand it, looking down on us, you know, everybody in our situation, they don't understand because they haven't been here. So you got to think about, put yourself in their shoes type situation. You can associate yourself with certain things and aspects of life, and for somebody who don't understand it, you can get caught up. It's as simple as that. Like I said, I find that out on the fly. But keep listening to people like Mr. Brown, man. Keep listening to your parents and your teachers, because the fact that they're here right now, that means a lot. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm just saying, pointing out just how this room is a feel right now. That makes the difference to your growth and your success and your character, man. Just keep doing what you all are doing. And I'm open to Q&A. He really give me a really rubric of what that come up here and say, but he definitely told me come up here and be real. Because I come up here in a suit and tie and come up here to put on the front. This is who I am on a daily basis. I am who I am, and I aspire to be who I want to be as a man, as a leader, as a teammate, as a hopefully a father one day, and all that stuff. Like, I learned it on the fly. So it's more than school, it's more than football. At the end of the day, whatever is, and especially on play, track and all that, is life. What can you get out of this sport, this activity that you're doing that can teach you how to be a better version of yourself? And we're here for the grades right now, so keep going. Keep doing what you're doing. If you struggle, just like you do in your sport, your respective sport, if you struggle, you're going to ask for help. Don't be afraid to ask for help in the classroom. On my mama, you ask for help, especially from a teacher, they love that. That's what they're there for. They're not here to just, if you struggle to belittle you and make you feel bad about yourself, they're literally there to help you because they love to help, they love to teach. So somebody who's obviously struggling and asking for some help, that makes the teacher feel like you do when you get a sack. You feel me? That makes what position you in? It's you, okay, so when you shake somebody, you get that assist or you get that dunk or whatever you're doing. That's what a teacher get when a student in need asks them for help. They want to help. I promise you, they're not looking down on you. They see you want to help, especially when you get these universities, these colleges. When you ask for help, that gives a teacher, that gives a professor chills. I'm getting chills right now because I didn't learn to ask for help until college, real, because I was fortunate enough to get it, understand things like that. Okay, but I went from a hood high school that didn't prepare me for the school I went to. When I went up there, it was clear that I was different. It was clear that I was from somewhere else. Like when I first got to college, people asked me to slow down how I talk. Like teachers legit, they understand how I had to learn how to enunciate and just speak clearly, slow it down. Like it was more than just school for me. It was life. And when I went to University of Virginia, it was more than just me going to class, taking notes. I learned how to adapt to people and be around people. So don't be afraid to ask for help. This Q&A. Yeah.
Can you explain to them, we talked earlier about but can you tell them about the challenges that they will face with time management, their practice versus class?
Right. Well, I can't speak for other sports than football, but college, I know what we see on TV and what we taught and everything like that with social norms. The time management will kick in. I had to get up at 6:30 every morning. This is every morning. This is you making that transition from a child to an adult when you go to college. And it's going for you. That first little bit of freedom can be overwhelming for some people. Some people are able to manage their time to get their work done between practice and the next class. You got multiple classes. Class is going to be a different time. It's not that 8 to 2 or 3 block schedule no more. You on your own. Ain't nobody gonna baby you. You're just sport. They will give you a teacher or a tutor, provided you need it. But you on your own. If you don't get it done, you time crunch, you procrastinate, it will hurt you. Especially being a student athlete, because you got all these different things going on. Football season was pretty much August through November for us, camp through the season. If you aren't able to squeeze in that time to do your work, you just back it up, I promise you it will hurt you. And it takes some time. Don't think you can go in and perfect it, because most people who aren't student athletes, they struggle with time management. So we automatically going to be looked down upon just the fact that we receive this aid and all this different stuff. People going to come at you with a different perspective. But how you manage your time is that's a big part of your success at the next level. I encourage you now, just practice little habits. If you get an assignment or something for your teacher, go ahead and get it done. I promise you, you having more time to get being done with that versus you worrying about, okay, I know I got to get this done eventually. That kind of stuff, that kind of mindset will hurt you. It's really annoying, for real. I encourage y'all right now to learn how to get it done.
Did you have any success with transferring like teammates on the field to teammates in the classroom? When I was at baseball in Rutgers, I had a study group for my engineering classes, and they really helped out. I don't know if that's true for every college or your experience, but
having teammates.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah, how about with like homework or?
Yeah, especially. I mean, you are like he's saying. What he's saying is having teammates like with your sport, your team, literally your team in the same classroom with you. If you already got that camaraderie in the locker room, that camaraderie. If you all get ahead of that work together, like it makes it that much easier because you're comfortable with this person. You know pretty much what they got going on there on the same schedule as you, so you got that natural level of comfort versus going against, but going to meeting with a classmate that you don't know, have no mutual probably interest in, that you have a new assignment together. I mean, at the end of the day, your teammate is your teammate. You naturally have that bond, but you can't be afraid to ask for assistance because most times, other students, to be around a student athlete, they feel thrilled like in a way because, oh wow, this person's really good enough to where they have this skill, and they don't have to worry about what I'm going through with my financial, my aid and stuff like that. Like they even want to help you too. Everybody wants each other to succeed. I doubt that you run into somebody at the next level who's gonna look you dead in your eye and say, I want you to fail. I want to feel you fail. You're not gonna run into them. I haven't. I doubt you will.
Also, when you do the clearinghouse or when you're doing recruitment, the parents should ask whether they have student support. Because if when my son was being recruited and I went, I made sure that when I went there, that the coaches were into having student support. Like they have study groups and they have a coach that usually monitor student grades and stuff. But you as a parent have to do also the work when your child is being recruited. You have to ask that question. When my child come here, do you give student support for his academics? Because if you want him to be there to get a degree, instead of just being basket weaving courses, because they'll put children in basket weaving courses and their son don't come out with a viable degree. Even if he want to go to the NBA, he needs something to fall back on. Or he needs to be in the NBA and understand when I make that kind of money, that I need to invest that kind of money. So with the clearinghouse is good, but you need to make sure that also that your right now, your counselor in school should be looking at the clearinghouse and making sure that they're taking the courses for the clearinghouse and that they're being prepared to pass the test for the clearinghouse. Because no athlete will play in college unless you pass the clearinghouse with the grades. You won't at all. If you don't, my nephew thought that, or his parents didn't know that, and when he went to school, he never got a chance to play football at Hampton, because guess what? He didn't clear the clearinghouse. And it's too late when you get there to try to do it. You have to do it while you are in high school. You must clear the clearinghouse. No matter what college you choose, no matter where you choose to go, you must clear the clearinghouse. So, and I came in late. My name is Denise Cole. I'm an education advocate for New Jersey. I mainly work in Newark Public Schools, advocating for parents and students, and I'm very familiar with the clearinghouse. I'm familiar with the policies and procedures of Newark Public School. I'm here to tell you, you guys had an amazing opportunity, but a lot of times students don't make it because they don't know the clearinghouse.
And her son said, right here, where she's sitting, her son said it in high school, and I tutored her son right here.
Yes,
And he
for
came,
the test.
and he was coming in the midst of being a good athlete. He took time out. All the kids in his high school did not come here, but he came. She made sure he came.
And my son is now coaching with Rasheed Wallace in Durham, North Carolina. He graduated from North Carolina Central with a degree in communications and a minor in television. He said if he didn't get to go to the NBA, he wanted to work in the NBA. So you have to know, many are called, few are chosen. There's nothing wrong with the dream, but if you want to dream, you better know somebody else is. And when you ain't preparing, tell them. When they ain't preparing, somebody else will. And what the issue is in our neighborhoods is, our kids need conditioning. Your son or athlete need to be out there running every day. They need to be waking up out the bed doing push-ups in the morning. Tell them how to really prepare for the clearinghouse and clear that clearinghouse. And be the player that everybody is trying to recruit.
Right. Great chapter here.
Basketball, football, that's tennis, that's anything, track. Any sport that you want to go in, you must clear the clearinghouse in order to play in college.
And that's coming from a parent perspective. But I said I'm only 24. I just graduated college, going on 3 years. So this is my mom. Like my mom didn't know that either. Like where we come from. Like if you didn't play basketball, you weren't really getting recruited, or baseball maybe. So everything that my mom did, she would go home while she at work. She Googling stuff, what I need to do. You gotta, just as much as your child is preparing to go to college, you preparing to be a parent for, kids going to college. It's best for you all to both go into things educated rather than you all going there blind. You know what I'm saying? The more you approach your child graduating blinded, the more you be able to take advantage of it. Just like you're saying, like my mom didn't know to ask the counselors and stuff at our university. So, okay, what kind of things you provided for each student athlete, for guys who were struggling, with a guy, our tutors provided, like just things like that.
You should plug in your book.
Yeah, like,
You ain't got to be.
Yeah, oh yeah, I got a book for you guys.
I
And
didn't have
it's
the
all
books.
that.
I didn't have any meetings like
Tell
this.
them, because I learned all this.
Yeah, and this book will tell you all about getting recruited, how to get recruited, the questions you should be asking. It talks about the social media that he talked about.
Yeah.
It talks about parents being too involved or not being too involved in the process of giving the kids that leeway. Because sometimes students, through grammar school and middle school, the parents are holding your hands. But once you get to high school and college, you're on your own when it comes to getting up in the morning, studying. The parents can't get you out of bed.
You are.
You have
Let
your
me
own
tell you
exactly.
something. My son, we did a basketball resume. And you can promote your own child for every school where you want to go. Get your football resume together and send your football resume with highlight tapes to every school that you want to be recruited at. See, we don't know that in our community, but in the white communities, that's what they do. They send highlight tapes, they have basketball resumes, and our coaches have to begin to prepare our children to do those things. Yeah. I had to get another coach to help me with my son's highlight. Yes, my son went to school free. That was the goal for him, being on basketball. I didn't care whether he ever played the NBA. I knew as a parent, growing up in this neighborhood, I didn't have the money to pay for him. So guess what? Sports was the key to getting college paid for him and him a degree. And if that's what we're looking at, if that's what parents are looking at, then what we share here today, y'all have to go back to the schools and share it with every parent. Because a lot of our parents in our communities don't know that. Don't just wait for somebody to see you and recruit you. Get a basketball resume together. You can Google basketball resumes and it'll show you how to put it together.
And I give you guys a guide.
And he can help you. He can help you because I'm going to tell you something. I came tonight to support him because this is where my son came so that he could pass the ACT and the SAT. Because those are scores that the clearinghouse look for. Stop paying attention to other people. You can pass it. You just have to come and get the tutoring to help you pass it.
Don't be ashamed to do so. Just like I'll tell you, like, she hasn't said one lie. They doing these in the better community, the white community. These folks, are, like she's saying, the huddle accounts. Huddle came out right my senior year, like junior, senior year. That's when Huddle came out. Other than that, it was YouTube. I didn't send nothing out. It was, man, I had coaches from other schools to send my stuff out because my coaches weren't educated. So the word that y'all receiving right now, parents, even players, like, y'all ahead. Don't be afraid. If you know somebody else with your sons and your daughters equivalent talent that you know are able that is uneducated about everything, go ahead and teach them. Like, okay, we want, because this stuff is more than just it's more than just what your child does. You spread that and it's become generational. It's something we pass on for people to know going forward. Because okay, yeah, we know we got a lot of athletic and academic talent in our communities. But if we keep that information within ourselves, we selfish. We killing off the future. We young. We killing off the future. We can spread that word to the kids in our community. Okay, oh, he gonna be this, he gonna be that. But if that boy not educated, that young lady's not educated, what are we doing? We killing ourselves. We stand stuck. I guarantee you, they have whole meetings.
Look at your HBCUs. They are D1 colleges.
Yeah.
You get to the pros through the HBCUs. And let me tell you something, parents. My son went to colleges that did not look like him first when they recruited him for basketball, and those coaches made me a lot of promises they didn't follow through with. The coach at North Carolina Central wanted my child from the beginning, which is a HBCU, and I didn't do it. The last time I asked my son, what you want to do? He said, yeah. I said, transfer. My son went to the HBCU, and let me tell you something. HBCUs are invested in making sure children who come there, males who come there, they are getting the things that they need when it comes to their academics, and they make sure that you come there and have the support that you need to graduate. Now, you got to do it. You can't go to a party. Because guess what we used to call it when I went to college? I don't know if y'all had it when y'all was in college, but we used to have a party for all the ones that fell out that won't be coming back. Because they didn't take the time to know that you don't party when you in college, because guess what? Those same parties are going to be there when you get yours.
We're just going to take a break here because we really want to hear from the students, questions and answers. But before that, we're going to feed you and then come back out because he's hungry. He told me he's been hungry. And so we're going to feed you. You come back out and we'll have questions and answers from you. Questions.